On a remote island in the Persian Gulf is a structure that wouldn't look out of place in a dystopian science fiction film. But this seemingly tangled mess of metal and plastic is Meryal, Qatar's largest water park. Spread over 281,000 square meters and comprising 36 water slides, the park is highly anticipated amongst locals, but has become somewhat of an oddity for international onlookers thanks to the striking appearance of the park's centerpiece Icon Tower. To make things even more interesting, the park is themed entirely around oil and gas. At a cost of $270 million, Meryal is part of Qatar Island North, the first entertainment island of its kind in Qatar and a key element of the Lusail expansion project. It bears striking similarities to Resorts World Sentosa in Singapore, with a comprehensive master plan for development that is centered around the state-of-the-art water park. The project as a whole contains leisure attractions, luxurious hotels, unrivaled accommodation, and world-class facilities that make it a modern, globally competitive community, all within a unique design that is inspired by the rich culture and natural resources of the Middle East region. With the park's name itself having deep cultural connections as well, Meryal is the word in Qatar to find out how deep the water is, defining the nation's love for the sea. Whilst parks like Disneyland and the Magic Kingdom celebrate fantasy and the Western frontier, Meryal explores Qatar's history of oil and gas. Sheikh Nasir bin Abdulaziz Al Thani, head of business development at Qatar Projects, said the design of the water park was inspired by the history of the oil and gas discovery in Qatar, adding to it a historical and a cultural aspect, and establishing the identity of the water park. The colors used in the water park are rusty, that is to give visitors an idea and feel of the oil and gas field, but in the form of a water park. There is no doubt that there is nothing better than the history of the discovery of oil and gas in Qatar, which is actively contributing to the development of our country, as well as promoting and showcasing our history and culture. Celebrating fossil fuels is an interesting choice for themed entertainment in the Western world, but for the Middle East, oil and gas are truly an important resource. But their usage in the park's theming leads to some truly bizarrely themed attractions. When talking about this park, we can't start anywhere else but the tangled monstrosity that is the Icon Tower. This imposing slide tower is built on a man-made island 300 meters offshore, which guests can access aboard one of the strangest looking theme park trains in the world called the Traitorous Tanker. Once ashore on the island towering 85 meters above you will be the world's tallest slide structure, home to 12 different water slides, 2 of which hold the dual world record for the tallest water slides, with them having the absolutely spectacular names of Vertigo and the Fractionator. But don't fear, as there's no need to trudge rafts up 278 feet of stairs, as 2 elevators will take guests up the tower to the 6 different levels, and conveyors will bring the rafts up to the slides, with this alone making the park one of the best sounding water parks in the world. Other attractions built on the Icon Tower include the Extruder, the Boiler, the Reformer, and our personal favourite as Australians, the Cracker. All of the water slides in the park are built by Whitewater West, an industry leader in the water park realm. And the Icon Tower will feature some of the most iconic water park elements, including funnels, bowls, and dropping floors. And of course, being a modern water park, you know this is home to a slide wheel. And their park's wave pool has to be one of the most yikes named attractions in the world, being called the Oil Slick Lagoon. Fun. Before we get deeper into things, have you thought about getting deeper into Reviewtyme? Upon reading that sounds worse than what I wrote, but you can do so by joining us on Patreon. We've got an exclusive podcast called Parks After Dark, as well as exclusive behind-the-scenes access to many things Reviewtyme. So if you enjoy what we do, consider joining us over on Patreon. While the Icon Tower understandably garners the most attention in the park, the largest section is back on the mainland and home to a wide variety of other aquatic adventures. One of the most unique attractions is the Oil Strike Tsunami log flume, which begins with a walkthrough section introducing them to geology and the search for oil. Before long, they will find themselves aboard a boat and in a number of dark ride scenes that feature dinosaurs and scenes where it feels as if they are the oil being extracted from the ground. The finale will see guests ascend a vertical lift featuring heat and special effects before sending them down a 60-meter high drop, ensuring all guests get absolutely soaked. But hold your britches, because we missed detailing the best part. Before embarking on the ride, you venture through what is lovingly known as Edutainment Cave, which is guided by a 3D character named Oily. Oily will teach guests about the history and science of Qatar's oil and gas industry through the queue so that they can truly enjoy Oil Strike Tsunami even more. Meryal features mostly water attractions, but it does include a couple of dry rides scattered around the park, including an Intamin spinning coaster called Al Ghazal, which has guests sitting in oil barrels. We don't know much more about this attraction, but it does look to be an interesting addition to the park. Elsewhere is the creatively named VR slide, which is essentially a water slide simulator. Designed with accessibility and more surreal experiences in mind, the attraction uses a 3-axis motion base alongside VR media to simulate its 5 virtual experiences. Overall, the park is filled with an impressive lineup that has the potential to make this one of the most comprehensive water parks in the world. The park was originally set to open in the third quarter of 2022, but publicly it still has not seen its grand opening, and it looks like it may completely miss the World Cup Games, which is set to end on the 18th of December, missing out on a major reason for this park being built in the first place. For the last few months, it's been looking as if only the finishing touches were missing, but the park has gone pretty quiet since missing its deadlines, and it will be interesting to see when this park eventually opens, and if it's busy as they need it to be. But over to you, what are your thoughts on this park and the monstrous Icon Tower? Let us know in the comments section below, and a huge thanks to our patrons for making this video possible. For Review Time, I'm Dom. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing.